Aayat stumbled through the mist-wreathed forest, each step further into the unknown. The dense fog wrapped around her like a shroud, obscuring her vision and making every direction look the same. She could barely see a few feet ahead, the trees looming like silent sentinels. Lost and afraid, she felt a cold dread grip her heart. The forest seemed alive, whispering secrets she couldn't understand, and every rustle of leaves made her heart race faster. That's when she saw him. A figure emerging from the mist, almost ethereal in the moonlight. Standing in a shaft of moonlight, a figure of impossible beauty and otherworldly grace. Ryan. His presence was both comforting and terrifying, like a dream she couldn't wake from. His eyes, pools of molten gold, held hers, and Aayat's breath hitched. They seemed to see right through her, into her very soul, and she couldn't look away. A shiver ran down her spine, a mixture of fear and a strange, inexplicable pull. It was as if an invisible thread connected them, drawing her closer despite the danger.
"You shouldn't be here." His voice was soft, yet it carried a weight of warning.
Ryan's voice, a melodic whisper, sent shivers down her spine. It was like a song she had heard in a dream, familiar yet distant. His gaze traveled over her, a predator assessing his prey, yet Aayat saw no hunger there, only a deep, unsettling curiosity. It was as if he was trying to understand her, to see what lay beneath her fear.
"This forest is ancient, full of secrets best left undisturbed." His words were a warning, but also an invitation to uncover those secrets.
I got lost." Her voice trembled, barely more than a whisper.
Aayat stammered, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. The forest seemed to close in around her, the trees whispering secrets she couldn't understand. She tried to step back, to put distance between herself and this creature of the night. But the forest seemed to conspire against her, the ground shifting beneath her feet. But her feet felt rooted to the spot, her body refusing to obey. It was as if the forest itself was holding her in place, preventing her escape. Ryan tilted his head, a lock of ebony hair falling across his forehead. His movements were graceful, almost feline, and his eyes never left hers. There was a strange sadness in his eyes, an echo of ancient pain. It was as if he carried the weight of centuries, a burden that no one could understand.
"The forest can be disorienting." His voice was softer now, almost gentle. "Come, I will guide you back." He extended his hand, a lifeline in the darkness, and Aayat felt a flicker of hope amidst her fear.
Days turned into weeks, yet Aayat found herself drawn back to the mist-shrouded woods, unable to resist the pull of the unknown. The memory of Ryan, of his golden eyes and the strange allure he held, wouldn't let her rest. His presence lingered in her thoughts, a constant reminder of the mysteries that lay hidden in the forest. It was a dangerous yearning, one that whispered of forbidden desires and impossible dreams. The forest seemed to call to her, its secrets entwined with her own heart's desires. But her heart, already ensnared, refused to listen to reason. The more she tried to resist, the stronger the pull became, drawing her deeper into the forest's embrace. Their encounters became a nightly ritual, a dance of shadows and moonlight. Aayat would find him always in the same moonlit clearing, waiting for her as if he had been there for centuries. His presence as much a part of the forest as the ancient trees and the whispering wind. The forest seemed to breathe with him, its essence intertwined with his very being. They spoke of everything and nothing, their words weaving a tapestry of shared secrets and unspoken truths. Their conversations a strange dance between two souls from different worlds, each step bringing them closer, yet keeping them apart. He told her of the loneliness of immortality, the endless nights that stretched into eternity. The burden of endless nights and forgotten memories weighed heavily on him, a sorrow that time could not erase. She spoke of the warmth of the sun, the changing seasons, the simple joys of a mortal life, the bittersweet beauty of a life that bloomed and faded like the wildflowers in the meadows, each moment precious and fleeting. Each night, Aayat found herself falling deeper under his spell, the forest and its mysteries becoming a part of her soul. Ryan, with his quiet intensity and haunted eyes, awakened something within her, a longing she had never known, a longing she couldn't explain, a connection that defied logic and reason, binding her to the forest and to him. Their bond grew stronger with each passing night, A silent promise whispered in the mist, a connection that transcended time and space.
Why do you seek me out?
Ryan asked one night, his voice a low murmur that sent shivers down Aayat's spine. His words were like a soft caress, a whisper that seemed to echo in the stillness of the night. They were sitting by the edge of a moonlit stream, the water reflecting the star-dusted sky above. The night was serene, almost magical, with the gentle sound of the stream adding a soothing rhythm to their conversation. Aayat hesitated, her fingers tracing patterns on the soft moss beneath her. She felt the cool, damp texture under her fingertips, grounding her in the moment. How could she explain the unexplainable? The feelings that swirled within her were complex, a tangled web of emotions that defied simple explanation.
I don't know. I feel drawn to you, like a moth to a flame. It's as if there's an invisible thread pulling me towards you, something I can't resist.
He chuckled, a low, throaty sound that sent a thrill through her. His laughter was infectious, a sound that seemed to resonate deep within her soul.
A dangerous comparison, little moth. Fire can burn, and yet you still come closer.
His gaze met hers, his golden eyes filled with an emotion she couldn't decipher. Longing, regret, or perhaps a mixture of both, a silent plea hidden within their depths.
You risk much by associating with me. The path you choose is fraught with peril.
I know, but some risks are worth taking.
She breathed, her heart pounding in her chest. Each beat was a reminder of her own vulnerability, yet also of her strength. But fear, she realized, was not the only emotion she felt. There was a strange sense of exhilaration, a thrill that came from stepping into the unknown. There was also a strange sense of exhilaration, of living on the edge of a precipice, of daring to reach out and touch the forbidden. It was a dance with danger, a flirtation with fate, and she was ready to embrace it. Their sanctuary couldn't remain secret forever. One night their conversation was abruptly interrupted by a chilling voice, cold and sharp as shards of ice.
Ryan.
A figure materialized from the shadows, tall and imposing. Ilara. Her eyes, like chips of emerald ice, burned with cold fury.
You know the laws. This dalliance is strictly forbidden.
Ilara.
Ryan acknowledged, his voice devoid of any inflection. He stood, his hand protectively on Aayat's arm, a silent message that did not go unnoticed by the newcomer. Ilara's gaze swept over Aayat, filled with disdain.
She is but a fragile human, a fleeting fancy. You are playing with fire, brother. Do not let your fascination with this creature jeopardize our kind.
She is none of your concern. My choices are my own.